doing two book reviews, one on Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard and one on The Cruel Crown, also by Victoria Aveyard. This is a little novella. It goes in with this series. So to start off with Red Queen. If you were living under a rock last year, Red Queen was in the hype. I bought this almost a year ago. Took me only a year to read it, guys. And because I was stupid enough to think because it's no longer in the hype, I can go on social media. And as I'm about 200 pages in, falling in love with Maven, I find out my spoiler about Maven. So I'm like, screw you. So we start off with this girl named Mare, and she lives in this world where silvers are gods and reds are like their slaves, and they're treated harshly, and they have conscription and like very harsh work, and she is a red. And she's about to be sent off with conscription, and she has 3 older brothers who are also in the war. And I never really got the war about food and like Lakelanders over food and water. I was still confused on it. I really want to say this takes place in Europe because they had this brief mention that if they treated reds equally, that none of their surrounding neighbors would, so they would embark another war on themselves. So I was like, is this like Europe? Like we're surrounded by countries? She has her best friend Kilor, and everything goes to hell when his owner dies, and that means he's going to be sent off to war. And in an attempt to save him, she gets her younger sister Gisa to take her to the Silvers so she can attempt to steal from them because he's a pickpocket. It doesn't work out. There's this riot. They have to run, and she needs like $2,000 from a woman named Farley. And she's trying to get that money, and they can't, and Gisa goes, this was horrifying starting a book off. When Gisa tried to steal it, and they break her hand, and she is known for sewing, so... And then suddenly, she runs into this guy named Cal. And I love Cal. I was so heartbroken at the end of it. Just love Cal, guys. And then a couple days later, she ends up getting a job as a red servant. And it's like, what? How'd that happen? And then she finds out Cal is the freaking prince, aka the next king. Like, whoa. I mean, you gotta be a little important to get that job. I felt like the plot twist was so well in this book. It was just that I had been spoiled, so I couldn't love them. Cal has a younger brother named Maven. See, as things go on, there's this queencestral where basically these different houses, it almost reminded me of the Hunger Games, these different tributes, these different houses came and competed, and whoever won got to be married to the king, or Cal, who was future king, so they would be future queen, and a girl named Evelyn wins. Way back in when the riots were happening in the Silver Lands, Melina realized that there was a Scarlet Guard. Farley was a part of it, and her brother Sade was a part of it. So I'm immediately thinking, oh, they're going to find out and execute her. As this queencestral's going on, there's this stunt pulled where she's fallen down, and they think that a red servant's just going to be killed because who really cares about reds when you're in the land of silvers? And her body lights up with electricity, and she's the only one who can produce stuff and not manipulate stuff. Like, you know, Cal and Maven have the power of fire, and there's the power of healers and all of that. I was like, WTF, how did she just get powers when she was dying? She got powers from the feeling of letting go, it said on earlier. So there's this big conspiracy. I still don't know why the queen just didn't execute her. I think it was just maybe because everybody had seen it. And there's this confusion about how, no, her parents weren't actually her parents, and she was Lady Tatianos, and she was electricity, and her parents were like some military generals or something, and they made up this huge backstory, and they married her off to Maven, or promised her to Maven, while Cal took Evelyn. It was so sad seeing Cal not have a chance to truly fall in love. And as things go on, Mare is pressured to fit in more. She's getting homesick, and there's this sweet moment where Maven's like, we should take you home. And I was like, oh my god, I love Maven. So he gets Cal to take her home on this like bike thing he has. And when she sees her family, she loses her shit when she finds out that her brother Sade is dead and lights everything on like electricity, like almost kills everybody kind of thing. Oops. It's basically like Elsa in Frozen, man. You just let it go and whole shit things happen. She's going through all this training with Julian, and then she's starting to train to kill with others, like Evelyn and Cal and Maven. And when she finds out Slade dies, she goes and swears herself to the Scarlet Guard, as does Killua. So I was like, I really thought there was going to be a love triangle between Killua. I still think there is. I think he's going to come back and be like kind of annoying and be like that best friend that thinks that they love them but they don't or something. I don't know. Because Maya gets her whole princess authority. She gets all her brothers released, and I love that scene had before we found out Sada died and before she lost her control. Family reuniting. I was so happy with it. Things are getting more heated in the Scarlet Guard, and the part that I hated was Maven comes and swears himself to the Scarlet Guard. Loved Maven. We understood Maven. I never understood why Cal necessarily betrayed her, but yeah. And as her and Maven work together, they literally pick out this list of people they want to kill, and one of them is Evelyn's brother. Bad idea, man. Bad idea. Alina got really, really dark, and that was the part I wasn't liking, and I was like, don't you remember what it was like to be a red? What makes you better than a silver by killing silvers because you control their lives? I get that the vice versa has been done to you, but that doesn't make things better. We have the Scarlet Guard. Cal swears to destroy them because he's a military general. Things are getting more heated with the Scarlet Guard. We have this attack that everyone tries to do on Melina to prove that she's not silver or whatnot. Doesn't really work out. We are introduced to Sarah Sklonos, which we meet in Cruel Crown, and Julian, and the other queen, Coratain, or whatever her name was. I don't know. All these backstories were so good and so well pieced and weaved together. Cal is interrogating the hostages, one of which is Farley. Julian and Maya break them out because Julian's a singer because he can manipulate people. It's really cool. She's like, Cal betrayed me or whatever because I don't know, he tortured them. I never saw it. Cal did not betray you on the same level Maven did. Let's just throw that one out there. As things are getting heated, they're more meeting with the Scarlet Guard until finally they meet with the Scarlet Guard, and Maven and Maya come up with this plan to take things over completely at the Caesar's Palace. And Maven convinces Maya that Cal was going to choose her over his army and his father. Never, ever saw that plan going to work. And she believes him. And when the plan goes down, all goes down. The Silver Card gets massacred. At first you believe everybody Killua and Farley and everybody is dead, and Julian found this list of half reds, half silvers, and it's like, oh my god, we need to find these people, but can't do that, they're dead. And Maven has this list, and then we have this scene where they drug up to the castle, and this one, I knew Maven had betrayed them, because thank you, spoiler people, but watching the new queen, Alella, or whatever her name is, get in the mind of Cal and force him to kill his own father, whom he loved dearly. I was just bawling. I couldn't take it. I couldn't do it. It was so painful. I was just in shock reading it, because I was like, oh my god, everybody's dead. They're now the most wanted people. They're gonna kill them. And they have this scene in the cell. Stupid Maven. I would like him to die a really painful death, where Maven comes and taunts them both. And I don't even know how he could manage to do that to his own brother. I don't even know. And when Cal and Melina are finally thrown in the last execution way for public entertainment, whatever you sick people are doing, Silvers, they end up winning. A lot of people die. Lucas was executed, and he was just her security guard and her maids and all the walls, and I was just like, everybody just died at the end of this. She used Cal, and then she was not caring for him at all, and I was like, stop it, you're not better, you kind of annoyed me here, Melina. And she was so heartbroken by Maven's betrayal, and they just want vengeance when they get out, and they get rescued by the Silver Guard, because Farley and Killua did not die. We are going to see them again in the next book. I think they left us on a big cliffhanger. Like I said, I love the backstories. I love how everything was woven together. I love the characters until Maven spoiled me. But I love Cal. Love Cal, guys. He had to kill his own father. Nobody deserves that. I was just I felt horrified when I was reading that scene and he was forced to kill his own father. I literally felt almost puking, because of how horrifying it was to read about that and have the emotional description of it. I was just God, I can't. I want Cal to be loved in the next one. I don't know. He's obviously not exactly Scarlet God material, but still, he's a weapon. And the Cruel Crown, I gave this one 4 stars too, because the first story, Cal's mother, the first queen, Corianne or whatever, and how she had been kind of weak or whatever, and she was a whisperer, and how she had met Tiberius, which was the king, or future king then, present king now, and Red Queen, and how they fall in love, and they still left her mystery. I think Ella killed her. I just do. She was messing with her head, and I feel like she didn't, even though she said, like, I haven't done it in a while. I feel like she still had done it, and it was just a lie, and I feel like she wouldn't have committed suicide, when, especially having a newborn child. And her story was really short, but I really loved it. I loved seeing her and Julian, and it made me feel more heartbroken for Julian. And they even explained Sarah Sklonos, Julian's lover, and how she had a tongue cut out because she found out who killed who, and it was the wrong thing to say, and it was such violent ends to these delights. No? The quote. The second story, much longer one, is a Farley. And I really liked it. I felt like there was a romance connection between her and Sade in it. I don't know why. I was just feeling it. I was like, can we see this again in Glass Sword? This would be really nice. I was like, tiny little hints at it. And she's just kick-ass. I love Farley. I love her. She can be reasoned with. She has a brain. She can think. She can plan. She's a leader. I love her. I love her too. I think I like her a little bit more than Maya, to be honest. And it was actually a coincidence why she was there with Will, the trade guy, the night that Maya had been there, whatever. And I really liked how that all overlapped, and how she had her own squad and was captain. And I don't know, I can't wait to see everybody else in Glass Sword. So like I said, I gave both those books 4 stars. I'm Annalyse. Thank you for watching. Bye!